Today on MLB The Show 24, we're going to be rebuilding the worst team in all of baseball. I honestly thought it was going to be the Oakland A's for the simulation. However, MLB The Show 24 is saying that the Chicago White Sox are actually the worst team in all of baseball. Now, that's to be expected pretty much. I mean, after the Dylan Cease trade that occurred the other day, the Chicago White Sox really only have like Luis Robert on their roster, which is pretty crazy. As you can see, we're here on MLB The Show 24. They're the 30th ranked team on the year, 28th in contact right there, 22nd power, 29th in pitching, 22nd defense, and 28th in speed. Obviously, that's not where you want to be literally on any of those categories. So I'm here coming in today. We got the GM of the Chicago White Sox here, now GM KGPRESENTS, as you could say, and we're going to be rebuilding the Chicago White Sox to hopefully restore them to their former glory and hopefully bring them an MLB championship. Without any further ado, let's get into today's video. So let's first do a quick rundown of the Chicago White Sox roster. Obviously, Luis Robert as an 89 overall compared to the next highest, which is 74, which is crazy. He had a 264 average last year with 38 home runs, which is very, very good. Now, obviously, I potentially could trade Luis Robert in this rebuild here, but I'm not going to do that. Our next best player is Jesse Chavez, and shout out Jesse Chavez has had a very solid MLB career, but obviously at this point he is 40 years old. To be the second best player on this team is obviously not good for us, so he's going to be looked to trade right here. That's not good for us at all. I mean, you can't really have the second best player. Lloyd Jimenez is going to be on this roster. Still, we got Garrett Crockett on this team too, and we have a bunch of holes here on this roster. Yoan Moncada, I was really hoping that he could break out in real life. Obviously in 2019 season, as you can see right there, 315, 25 home runs. He had a really good year that year. But unfortunately though, he hasn't really lived up to anything after that season, really, after that Chris Sale trade. Andrew Benintendi was okay last year, but obviously nothing too crazy. I mean, he's getting paid $15 million for those kind of numbers. I think you can really find that really elsewhere in my eyes. And I'm really excited to see Colson Montgomery here. I might be bringing up this season. I don't think I'm going to, though. However, he's going to be very excited for the future of this series. And speaking of Montgomerys, we're actually going to be signing Jordan Montgomery onto this team. Now, obviously, I don't really know if he would sign with the White Sox in real life, but he's signing with us here in this rebuild. So obviously now we have Jordan Montgomery onto this roster, and hopefully things go well for him on the Chicago White Sox. I also traded Jesse Chavez to the Nationals for Matt Barnes. Now obviously Matt Barnes isn't the craziest reliever, not anymore. He had some okay years prior in his career with the Red Sox and everything, but I think he's going to be more beneficial to our squad this season compared to Jesse Chavez. He's also got a couple years younger than him, so hopefully things work out here with Matt Barnes here on the Chicago White Sox roster. We're going to be trading Martin Maldonado to the Reds. Obviously, the part of this because of his age compared to the rest of the roster. Plus, it's more of a salary dump as well, trading him over to the Reds. I thought it was going to be beneficial more for us if we have Carlos Perez as our backup this season, as our backup catcher behind Max Stassi. And also, it's going to give plenty more time potentially next year here for Edgar, one of our top catching prospects, to hopefully become the catcher next season. We're also going to be trading Mike Moustakas and Kevin Pillar to the Rays in exchange for Ahmed Rosario. I think Ahmed Rosario is a solid player, and obviously I think he's better than Nicky Lopez, so hopefully things work out here with Ahmed Rosario as our second baseman this season. I got high hopes for him, so hopefully things work out there. Obviously, again, this is once more of a salary dump move. And after making those trades, as you can see there, we're currently the 27th ranked team right now. Is that going to be beneficial for us this season? No, I still expect it to be pretty bad. As you're looking at that roster right there, minus Luis Robert still, obviously, the rest of our players overall are low 70s. They got some 60s in there. Things are not going to be looking good for us this season. Obviously, the pitching staff isn't really the best either. I'm obviously hoping Drew Thorpe does pretty well for us this season, and hopefully we have some great years going forward. We were 56 and 106 on the year. Obviously, that's to be expected. We were awful this year. Let's kick into free agency here, and let's hope for some much better improvements for next season for the Chicago White Sox. And there we have a huge signing right there. Pete Alonso has decided to join us here in the offseason. That's what you'd like to see. That's a huge addition to make this roster better right there. Max Fried is also coming over to sign with the Chicago White Sox, 5 years, $98.5 million. A huge addition once more for the Chicago White Sox roster. As well as Juan Soto. Yes, as you can see, I literally was giving the money just straight up everyone. Can't believe they're all signing with us. That's crazy. We have Soto, Pete Alonso, Max Fried now onto this roster. And Corbin Burns, he signed too. Well, I just gave him as much money as possible. They're going crazy there. Hey, I'm not complaining with this. And no, I didn't influence anything here. I just went out there and gave them as much money as possible here. Because obviously there really isn't any people signed to the Chicago White Sox roster. So I made sure to give them as much money as possible. And luckily things did work out here. So I'm really excited to see how things are going to go well for the White Sox. It's an insane rebuild here in the offseason. The complete dynamic of this team has absolutely changed with these several signings here. In terms of salary here, we're going to be trading Andrew Benintendi to the Rays for Kevin Kelly. We have Juan Soto now on the squad. We got Luis Robert still obviously here. Pete Alonso, Corbin Burns, Max Fried, Jordan Montgomery, Patrick Wisdom has been signed to. We got Kevin Kelly, Andrew Vaughn, Eric Crockett, Eloy Jimenez, Mike Kopech. And this squad obviously has made some major improvements here onto this roster. In just one offseason, I just went out there, essentially just gave them as much money as possible. But hey, you got to get the job done here somehow. Now, I do think we still need to make some improvements across the field. Second base is still one of concern here. Shortstop here, we do have Colson Montgomery. He's going to be our starting shortstop here fully this season here. He played a lot of games last season, but he's going to be fully here this season. Catcher here, we're going to have Edgar start, not Max Stassi here. Hopefully things go well for us this season. Obviously the pitching staff, I think the pitching staff is pretty solid here. Corbin Burns, Max Fried, Jordan Montgomery, Mike Kopech, Mike Soraka. And you know, the thing is though, we should be all right. Let's see how this goes down. I see you guys at the end of the season here. Let's hope for the best. Orioles offer this, not me. They're offering me Kobe Mayo here for Dominic Fletcher, and I had to take this deal. I think I'd just be stupid not to. So let's accept this trade offer from the Orioles. Disappointing season here in year number 2 for the Chicago White Sox. 80-82 on the season. Unfortunately, this season was not enough to even make the postseason. I was kind of shocked by that, to say the least. I mean, let's check out the player stats here at the end of the season, though. I don't know why Drew Thorpe got sent down. Soto this season, 305, 30 home runs, 85 runs batted, so he did good. Only 244 average for Luis Robert this season. So that was down. 254 average for Pete Alonso here. Obviously, the home runs and everything was what you expect. Corbin Burns at 3.78 this season. Fried with 3.69. Montgomery 3.65. So I guess that's part of it to blame right there. Andrew Vaughn had a really good season for us this season. 284, 24 home runs and 76 runs batted. Mike Kopech had 5.1. So I mean, I guess you could say that. I mean, there's a lot of these guys had a higher ERAs, and Colson Montgomery at 279, 1965 this season. Very good season for Colson Montgomery there. Remember, Rosario did pretty solid. Eloy Jimenez at 250 this season here, 29 home runs. So yeah, so we have one year left. I don't know if I said that at the beginning of the video, but we're going to be doing a 3-year simulation here with the Chicago White Sox. Hopefully we can get the job done next season here, but hey, you never know. I'll see you guys shortly, and with hopefully some new additions onto this roster. And here's what we have for year 3 of this rebuild. Soto still on this team. We got Luis Robert, Pete Alonso, Corbin Burns, Max Fried, Devin Williams, who we signed here in the offseason to a long contract. That's say the least right there. We still got Jordan Montgomery from original season, Jeff Hoffman, Garrett Crockett, Andrew Vaughn, Mike Kopech, Colson Montgomery up to 79 overall here. Caleb Ferguson is also now onto this roster. He had a couple good years with Dodgers. And the Yankees here, now he's on this roster as well. I'm really liking how this lineup is run out here. We got Corbin Burns, Fried, Montgomery, Kopech, Soraka. I still think we might need like another pitcher here to get one more in the starting lineup here. That potentially would be an issue here. But this lineup here is pretty solid. I mean, we got Kobe Mayo is going to be starting the season. Soto, Alonso, Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert, Andrew Vaughn's been very good. So I'm excited to see where this lineup turns out. We're obviously, as you see right there, we're the 5th ranked team this season, 15th in contact, 1st in power. We're actually 3rd in pitching, 30th in defense though, and 23rd in speed. Let's see how this goes. I'm actually going to update you guys at the trade deadline. Let's hope for the best. I'll see you guys shortly. And we're currently here at the trade deadline, 69-41 on the season. Things are looking bright for us right now. 4 games above the Twins, though. We're currently actually the 1st ranked team, as you can see right there. That is great for us. I mean, this roster has been absolutely incredible here. So's having a great season. 22, 31, 81 already at the trade deadline. Pete Alonso's up to 35 home runs. Luis Roberts also got 33. Corbin Burns 3.45 ERA. Fried's got 2.71. Devin Williams 3.73. Out of the bullpen there, Montgomery's on 2.73. Andrew Vaughn's been killing it here this season. And I do like where this lineup is going here. I remember Rosario has been solid at the top of the lineup. He's been a great addition onto this Chicago White Sox roster. Jimenez here has been great too. Soto, Alonso, Robert, Andrew Vaughn. Colson Montgomery's got 261, 19 home runs this season already. Moncada's been playing solid there at third base. And Edgar's been killing it here as our catcher here. Patrick Wisdom's been okay. Forgot we even signed Patrick Wisdom. So let's keep this train rolling here. Hopefully we can continue to have this success for the rest of the season here. And I'll catch up with you guys hopefully in the playoffs. I'll see you guys shortly. And there we are at the end of the season. The White Sox have finished the season at 95-67. We have won their division this season. We're taking on the winner of the wild card playoff game. That is a great sign for us already. Only 3 years into this, and we're going to the MLB playoffs. Alonso this season 319, 44, 121. That's a crazy season. Pete Alonso at 246. He had 44 home runs and 100 runs batted in. Corbin Burns with a 3.08 ERA this season. Luis Robert 47 home runs. Andrew Vaughn even had 39 home runs this season. Fried 2.84 ERA. 2.75 for Montgomery. Devin Williams had 3.06 coming out of the bullpen there. Kopech with 4.37. Hoffman was really good here in his first season. Montgomery hit 24 home runs as well. Rosario had 19. Eloy Jimenez with 273 average for him, 26 home runs. Caleb Ferguson, 3.03. Kobe Mayo only had 4 at-bats, though I don't know what that's about. Soraka did not do that good, but it's okay. I mean, we were just very solid all around here this season. Drew Thorpe did not do good, though. That's the thing. So we're going to be facing off against the Texas Rangers here in the MLB playoffs here. This is the ALDS here. They got Lance McCullers onto their roster here. Lance McCullers versus Corbin Burns here in Game 1. Can we get the job done? Yes, we can. 8-2 victory over the Rangers. Game 2, Max Fried versus Zach Gallen. No, we do not. It's now a 3-10 loss to them. In game number 3, it's Jordan Montgomery versus Jacob deGrom, though. We do end up losing, though. That is not good. We're down now 2-1 in this series. McCullers versus Kopech here in this one. We do get the job done. Zach Gallen versus Mike Soraka here in game number 5, and we do not end up winning. The White Sox have been eliminated from the playoffs by the Rangers. You know what? Let's go out and run it back here one more year. I mean, this team's pretty solid. Let's do this one more season here. Let's see how this White Sox team can go, and hopefully we can get an MLB championship. I'll see you guys shortly. So here's the lineup here. Year number 4. This is the year 2027. We got Med Rosario. Alec Boehm has now signed on to this White Sox roster. We got Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, Andrew Vaughn, Luis Robert, Colson Montgomery, Eloy Jimenez, and Edgar Caro. This team is absolutely stacked in my eyes. I mean, look at this. I mean, all these 80 overalls. Eloy's pretty much an 80 overall. Pretty crazy right there. The pitching rotation still got Corbin Burns, Fried, Montgomery, Kopech, Soraka. And at the bullpen here, we got Hoffman still, Ferguson, Kowski, Devin Williams, Garrett Crockett. And I mean, this is pretty good here out of the bullpen too. Let's see how this goes down. We're the 4th ranked team going into the season. Obviously, the defense and the speed is definitely not there, but hopefully the power and the pitching lead this team to victory this season. I'll see you guys shortly. End of the season here, the White Sox have finished the season at 162, won the division once again and taking on the winner of the wild card playoff game here. Obviously, that is great for us. So it looks like we're either going to be taking on the Yankees or the Rays here in the first round. Let's see how this goes down in the MLB playoffs. And we're taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. First game, Shane McClanahan. For the Rays, we got Corbin Burns. For us, we end up losing here in game 1. That's obviously not the result we wanted to. Robinson for the Rays, Fried for the White Sox. Can we get the job done? No, we do not. Again, another loss. Can we get the job done with Jordan Montgomery here in game number 3? No, we not. The White Sox have been eliminated from the playoffs by the Tampa Bay Rays. And I hate to say this, but I mean, look at this roster here. Soto, Robert, Pete Alonso, Kopech, Vaughn, Corbin Burns, Crockett, Devin Williams, Alec Boehm, Colson Montgomery, Fried, Rosario, Eloy Jimenez, Kobe Mayo, Jordan Montgomery, Mike Soraka, Jeff Hoffman, and Drew Thorpe. I mean, this roster here, right? I mean, I hate to say it, but I think the White Sox are just cursed. I mean, there's no way this roster here, again, back-to-back seasons here getting eliminated in the first round. That's just unfortunate. It's just the way it is. Fortunately, I'm going to have to call this video up here. I mean, obviously, I showed you at one point there. We were the first seed at one point. We're the first-ranked team, but things did not go as planned in this video. On the left is the first year of this rebuild, and as you can see, Luis Robert's really like the only good player on the team. There's a whole bunch of 60s, low 70s players in that roster right there. That's not good for us. And on the right there, as you can see, pretty much all the roster minus Eloy Jimenez are in the 80s or at least the 90s as well. So there's a clear update in that roster there, but unfortunately things did not go well for us at all right there. It sucks to say that, but it's really unfortunate that things didn't go well for the Chicago White Sox here in this rebuild. So that concludes today's video. If you all enjoyed it, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's unfortunate to say because I would say that Chicago White Sox team at the end there with Soto and Pete Alonso on the team, Luis Robert. I think that team should have definitely won a World Series, but hey, MLB The Show 24 is saying otherwise. Pick up a copy of MLB The Show 24 while you're at it here, and I hope you all have a great day today.